Welcome to Field 302, Study Session 9, The Internet and Philosophical Research. Introduction. There is no doubt that we live in a world dominated by end products of science and technology. One of such end products that has become part of the air we breathe in is the World Wide Web, or the Internet service, the basis of which the world is referred to as a global village because, although the world is vast and large, it is intertwined in the internet network of the World Wide Web. Every aspect of human activities has been influenced by the internet. We buy, sell, communicate through live video calls and other methods, provoke revolutions, make peace, and air views through the internet. In the same vein, the internet has immensely affected and influenced academic research. There are outline schools, journal books, discussion forums, encyclopedias, dictionary, and all sorts of educational and research tools available online. In fact, for hard copy books and journals to reach a wider audience, they are sold and bought online. They are uploaded and downloaded online as well. It is therefore important that the work on philosophical research and writing incorporates into its content the influence of the internet on philosophical research and writing. A lot of information about philosophy is available on the internet. Much of this information is excellent and worth taking advantage of. Unfortunately, a reasonable amount of the material available online is unreliable, and some of it can be downright misleading. This study session will give you advice about how to tell the good stuff from the bad stuff and point to some websites that can be relied on for excellent information. It is also to highlight ways of referencing internet sources. Objectives: to examine the types of philosophical material available on the web, to highlight some ways to identify reliable philosophical materials on the internet. Types of philosophical material on the web. There are many types of philosophical materials on the internet. They include the following: books. The philosophy books available on the internet include both hard copy books published as e-book and electronic books. Thousands of reputable presses avail themselves of the great opportunity the internet offers. When they publish hard copy books, they also make available soft copies or electronic copies of such publications for a wider reach. To avoid the inconvenience of posting, individuals can order or download for free such e-books and print at their convenience or read on their laptops, desktops, smartphones, and iPads. However, there are books published solely as e-books for downloading either for free or by subscription or payment. Such books do not have hard copies but can be printed by the downloader at his or her own convenience. Journals. Similarly, the philosophy journals available online include journals with hard copies and journals with only electronic copies. Some of the journals require subscriptions to download articles or the entire volumes. Others allow scholars and students to download their articles and volumes for free. Encyclopedia. There are many electronic encyclopedias of philosophy available on the internet. Most of them are available and are reliable. For instance, we have the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy and the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. They are both reliable sources of information for philosophers. On the other hand, most hard copy encyclopedias of philosophy are also available online, and interestingly, majority of them can be downloaded for free. Discussion forums and blogs. There are many philosophy blogs and discussion forums available online. They may not serve as appropriate sources of reference, but they stir up philosophical discourses that participants could research more on. These blogs and discussion forums also serve as a means of sharing ideas and informing other philosophers of ongoing projects, conferences, and journals. For instance, LinkedIn, as a global professional networking group, has many of such reputable discussion forums as Global Philosophy Group, Bioethics Connection, Philosophy, Medieval Scholasticism, Computing and Philosophy, and Emergence Institute for Ethics and Emerging Technology. All these serve as rich sources of information for philosophers as they carry out their research and writing. Tips on getting right materials. To be sure, there is so much information on material and philosophy on the internet. There is therefore the need to distinguish reliable materials from non-reliable ones. The internet serves as a forum for anyone to publish anything. Thus, not everything on the internet can be reliable. To get the right philosophy materials, the first and perhaps the most important question to ask is whether the material, be it a book, a journal, an article, an encyclopedia article, or a conference proceeding, has been peer-reviewed. In other words, has the material been reviewed by one or more persons and necessary corrections made by the author. The importance of peer review materials cannot be overemphasized. Peer review guarantees quality of the material downloaded or ordered from the internet, which implies that one can trust the information contained therein. Thus, whether we are buying or downloading a book, journal, article, or conference proceeding, we should always scrutinize them to see if they are peer review materials. A lot of self-publishing is going on within the internet, where materials are published as the author has drafted it without scrutiny. Some of the information contained therein can be very misleading. The peer review process helps to eliminate such misleading information and argument. Another way of scrutinizing philosophy materials online in order to know their worth is to quickly do a search on the author's background or publisher's history. When a philosophy material is published in a suspicious or untrusted site, the best way to know its worth is to do a quick research on the writer. If the research online reveals that the writer is a professional in the field in which he or she has written, and his or her curriculum vitae shows that he has done much more on that area, then the material can be trusted. Also, if the publisher of a particular material is known for excellent scholarship, then the material can be trusted as reliable. Another tip that is very useful in the search for reliable philosophy material online is the understanding that a vast majority of such materials are uploaded on the internet in the portable document format, PDF. Thus, when searching for materials on the internet for a particular topic in Google or other search engines, it pays to place PDF at the end of the search phrase. For instance, when searching for Plato's concept of justice, it pays to write it on search engine this way: Plato's concept of justice, PDF, or Plato's concept of justice plus PDF. When a search is performed in this manner, it leads one to finding reliable materials that can be very vital for philosophical research and writing. Referencing internet sources. In the lecture on referencing and citation, we already touched briefly on the method of referencing internet sources. We shall attempt to emphasize them here. This is very important because all sources used in a philosophical essay must be referenced, whether they are online or not. Although there is no argument on how such referencing of online materials can be done, as the method varies from one referencing style to the other, any referencing of any online source must contain the following information: the author's name, the title of the work, the title of the completed work or the site where it was published, the internet address of the work, the date it was made available, and the date the writer accessed the work. It is important to note that some online materials can be cited in the form of their original hard copy format. In other words, some books and articles online are hard copy books and articles only uploaded on the net for wider reach. Within their pages, they have their usual hard copy references, which can be used to reference them. This is no doubt different from the usual e-materials that are available solely online. Summary. The above lectures in philosophical research and writing generally introduced the student and the researcher in philosophy to the general nature, meaning, and scope of philosophical research and writing. It is therefore fitting to conclude this series of lectures with an examination of the place of the internet in philosophical research and writing. In doing this, we realize that the internet is an integral part of philosophical research and writing. However, one must be very careful on how the material available at the World Wide Web are used in order not to rely on irrelevant materials, which will no doubt be detrimental to philosophical research and writing. This is the end of study session 9. Thanks for listening.